All right, guys. Welcome to our Maximizing the Promos for Your Business call. Um, we've talked about how we can use all of these oils for our personal use, but there's also so many things we can do to use these in our business, right? Um, we get so many free oils that there's really really no reason you need to spend your own money on oils to share or sample out or any of that type of stuff. Um, so we're going to talk through some options for how you can use the promos in your business. I want you to remember that everything is scalable, okay? So what might be appropriate for someone who has a team of 10 people might not work if you've got a team of 200 and vice versa. So you can scale everything depending on where you're at in your business and what size you're and the size of your team, okay? So obviously, one of the first things we think about when using promos for our business, or at least the first thing I think about, is using them for samples, right? For getting oils on people. So this can be your current customers, it can be for prospects, and there's a lot of different ways you can send out oil samples. Uh, and I wanted to mention one of them because actually one of I don't know if I saw her on the call, but Sherry, who is one of my members and a fabulous leader, she actually did this and showed me how to do it. And it was how to send oils in these little mylar bags. Have you guys seen these? So you can order these little like mylar sealable bags on Amazon and you heat seal them with like a flat iron, or you can get a legit heat sealer, whatever. So you put a few drops in, seal it up. You can slap a little label on it and send out oils that way really inexpensively with a regular stamp. So if you want to send out a lot of oil samples, that's a really great option. That's going to be less expensive than, say, sending out little dram bottles, which is something that I've done in the past too. But if you do this, you can, tell them it's a diffuser blend. And I think what Sherry did was she tells them to like build their diffuser first, then put a little splash of water in here with the oils that are in here and dump that in. So it all kind of goes in together and you get all the oils off the inside of the bag. But I just love that idea is a easy way to get some oils in people's hands without spending a ton of money. Because if you want to do like little rollers, because you can also do like really little adorable like 2 ml rollers to send to people. But as soon as you start putting things in a padded envelope, you're spending like $2 to $3 per package, and that can add up quickly. So again, depending on the size of your team, how many people you're sending to, you can really make it work no matter what. There's tons of options. Um, and in terms of, deciding what to send, again, if your team is small and you have a personal relationship with people, send them what is appropriate for them. Send them something that they, is going to help what they're being challenged with, or something they're going through. Maybe they really need motivation in their life. Maybe they would really benefit from some valor. Um, and then for your current members, I always think, because I know a lot of people have gotten started with starter kits. So I think it's always nice to send them things from outside of the starter kit to expose them to new oils, different oils. This month is really cool because a lot of the blends we're getting aren't things that people may be familiar with. I don't know if people are always ordering energy or things like that. So just some really unique things you can share with them. And, in addition to just samples, you can use these blends, right, to create beautiful rollers that would be amazing giveaways. And there's so many different ways you can do giveaways. So one thing that Tracy always says, and it's such an important reminder, is if you are doing a giveaway, make sure that the giveaway rewards the action you want to encourage, right? So, are you encouraging people to place a subscription order? Are you encouraging them to share with other people? So, reward that. So, reward what you're trying to encourage people to do. So, uh, maybe if you're encouraging people to share, maybe you want to give away motivation rollers to everyone who helps a friend use a 10% off coupon code. And you can scale this, making it bigger or smaller depending on what makes sense for your size team. So you can always, um, when I think about a giveaway, I'm always thinking about like how many people are going to do what I'm encouraging, and then decide on that. Like if I don't think it's going to be a very large number of people, maybe it's you do this and everyone gets this roller. If it's going to be like lots and lots of people are going to be doing this, then maybe it's for a bigger prize, and it's, doing this qualifies you to be, potentially win this thing. So, you can think about it in different terms. Um, so, it could even be like, doing something big qualifies you to potentially for an entry to win a bottle of Envision versus just like a roller. So all those types of things. The other thing I was thinking about with these promos specifically is I love those roller bottles. I think that they would make some really sweet rank up gifts for leaders. So, and again, you can do this in terms of what's appropriate for your team. So maybe it's, the first 3 new stars this month each get one of the rollers filled with a luxurious blend. Or maybe it's the first 3 to help a friend place their first order with Young Living get a roller. Or it could be that, your first new senior star this month gets a set of all 3. You can really just play around with it in terms of what makes sense for where your team is at. And then, of course, you can always use these blends to help you do some DIY make and takes, right? So rather than having to invest or pull out your own oils, use your free oils to have a soap making party. I have seen so many soap parties lately, and I have seen people showing up to make the easiest melt and pour soap bars that are gorgeous. And it's great community building. Like, oh my goodness, like an energy soap? I think I'm going to make some soap with energy. That sounds really good to me. So you can use these to, do a make and take, DIYs, or even, soap with motivation. Yes. I love that. So yes, that's another way that you can use the promo oils. So before I want to open this up because we have so many leaders on the call, and I want to hear ways that they like to use their promo oils. But before I do, I just want to share with you, I did some really quick math. So I've been sharing Young Living for about 7 years now, and I've been on Essential Rewards, subscribed to Scave the whole time, getting monthly promos. I max out the promos every month. So being conservative, I estimate maybe I'm getting 4 free bottles of oil per month. So that is 336 free bottles of oil that I've gotten. That's a lot of, that's a lot of leverage for my business. That's a lot you can do without having to make that investment on your own. And that's a really low estimate considering that we also order on my husband's account and sometimes more than once a month and all that. But it's a really big stash to not only support my family's health, but also the business, right? So I have given away a lot of those as freebies for promotions and sampling and things like that. And I'm sure many of you have done the same. So does anyone have other ways that they plan to use this month's gifts to do something for their business or to share?
I was going to share one way to use the oils for your business is on social media. I feel like that's like such low hanging fruit that requires like barely any effort, but just like using it and showing how you can make a DIY or a room spray or use the oils with the free rollers that come this month. Like just kind of really demonstrating and showing people really like to see what you're doing. So just being really consistent on sharing on social media. And then it's sort of the, here are some oils that you may have not tried yet, and you can get this for free. So I feel like it's like a double, benefit that you can show people that this is the benefit of starting with Young Living is you get to get these oils for free. And these are not things that you can go buy at like a health food store. You cannot get the Motivation Blend anywhere else except for Young Living. So I, in particular, love promoting the blends, but I find that people who follow me on social media really like it when I'm making something. So like, even if it's like my hands making a roller or a stain stick or a room spray, people just really love that. So I think that's a really easy way that you could be using your freebie oils.
What else are people doing with their promos? I agree with Tracy. It's great using them on social media, of course. And just to echo what she said, we are really lucky to have such unique blends. And so the names themselves can really inspire interest because, you know, people see them and they're like, "Ugh, I need clarity. I need motivation." Yeah, you probably do. We all do.
Can I suggest something? And sometimes I fall from doing this regularly, but whenever I do, I get engagement and people commenting. Is even if you're just showing every single day what you're putting in your diffuser, but maybe you're doing the different promo oils or some different combinations with the promo oils, people will respond. They'll be like, what is that? What are you using? How do you use it? How does it help you? But just showing what you do, like just your routine, it can be really great. And then, like Stacy was saying in the first call, something like Envision can be used for skincare. So it's like, okay, maybe you didn't know this, but you can use this like to make a skin serum. And here's how you can do that. I actually had one more use. So I am a big proponent of product placement. So like my freebie oils, pretty much all of the freebies, I put them out in my bathroom, just around my house, right? Like I've got diffusers in every room. Like you can't walk more than like 5 feet in my house without running into a Young Living product. But I like to use the freebies just kind of like product placement in my house. And I love to have people over. And so when they come over, it'll be like, oh, what was that? Oh, that hand soap smelled so good. Like, oh, okay, well, I made it with Motivation, right? Or I'll have a bottle of Motivation there, or Envision. So that's another really effective way to be using your promos, is just product placement around the house. And Stacy mentioned this earlier, but gifts, but in particular, when it comes time for holidays or teacher gifts, or any kind of thing that's going on, we use them for gifts for other people too. Maybe in not the way where it's like a direct prospect, but I'm like, it's brand awareness, right? They know I'm the oil girl because I'm giving them a lip balm, or I'm giving them something that's made with the oils. But I often grab for my freebie oils to do that.
I love that. That's such a good point. Definitely using them as gifts for all the people. Jamie was saying that she makes a video with the promo oils, and that's great. I make videos for my team with the promo oils, and it's actually, excuse me, we have a whole call where we're going to talk about some of the tax benefits of the business. But one thing that for me, I count my monthly order as a write-off. That's something that I've discussed with my accountant, and we agree that it makes sense. And one of the reasons is I need all of those promos so that I can do a video. So that video helps me ensure my comfortableness in knowing that I'm writing off that whole order, because I need those promos. So that's one other way you can use them in your business too.
I don't know if this was stated, but this is sort of along the same lines. But I will tell you that those promos, sorry, it's freezing up here, hence my hat. But I will tell you that those promos that come out monthly, and then I've been using the oils for, I guess, 7 years this month. And I've been a loyal member with Essential Rewards to Subscribe to Save since then. So like Stacy said, I've gotten a boatload of freebies. But I will tell you that it has opened my eyes to so many oils that I would never, ever, ever, ever had gotten, except I took advantage of the promos, right? And I now talk about them, and they are my team's favorite oils because all I did was take advantage of the promos. So even if you're still unsure of like why you'd want to, I mean, I feel like trying things is always a good thing. And again, like, I don't know, tax write-off, right? Is really beneficial because Aroma Ease, never figured out that one was free 1 month, and that was a godsend for my 3rd pregnancy. And car rides. So, but I would never have gotten that one. I would have stuck to Digest, but Aroma Ease is better. So just for that like curiosity point, and figuring out some favorites, some new favorites, and if people have needs and things like that, just for that, I think it's a great opportunity. Ooh, I didn't mean to turn on my video. I meant to mute myself.
That's such a good point, Allison. I totally agree with you on that. I've definitely been introduced to things I never would have ordered myself if I didn't get them in a promo. And also, if you maybe struggle with knowing like what you want to share on social media or what you want to share with your team, the promos just give you the perfect, I mean, take an oil a week, dive into it, share it, educate on it. Um, it's giving you an education, plan for the month right there. You can really pick them apart. You can talk about the individual oils in the blends and all those types of things. Yes, happy oily anniversary, Allison. Um, so yeah, I like that too. That's a good idea.
Hey, I have another tip, and it just came to me as Allison was talking. So I also like to keep my freebie oils, and I like to kind of keep them in like a case, or like they have these nail polish organizer things. I'm like an OCD organizer like freak. So I like to have them like real neat. Can you please tell me in the comments, do you organize by color or by alphabet? I need to see if we can really be friends because I do it by alphabet. I cannot find anything by color. But what I like to do is when I'm hosting an event at my house, and I will tell you, people will say this, what oil do I use for XYZ, right? What oil do I use for XYZ? So I bring out my book. I either bring out the big desk reference like this, or I bring the little pocket reference, but then we'll like look it up together, right? And I'll look it up and I'll go, you know what? I'm not the expert on that. Some things I know more than the average person, but they might ask me something. I'm like, I don't know. Let's look it up. And we start looking it up and we'll look through the oils and I'll be like, hey, this is in my case, right? And these are like the oils that I got for free, but I'm using for oil education during a member event or a one-on-one or a member party or when prospects are over. So it's really great to be able to get these for free, right? Like Stacy said, she got through over 300 oils for free just because she's hitting those promo levels. But how awesome is that to be able to have, right? Just like this catalog of oils to use so that when you're showing people, when they ask you, what oil do I use for XYZ? And you look it up, you're like, I've got it. Try it. Let's look it up. Maybe you make a roller with it. Maybe you take a sample of it. But I've really loved being able to provide that to people who come over as a service. So that's another way that you could be using your oils, your promo oils. I'm seeing lots of people do this by alphabet. So we're in the same. It's so pretty by color. I just can't find anything.
I see that Devin is amazingly organized and does it by color and then alphabetical. Just both. I'm impressed. We do alphabet in our house, but that's only because my husband claims he can't find anything if we don't. I prefer by color just because it's more visually appealing to me. I am sure you know the color of every label, Tracy. You just don't realize it. You could find anything.
I prefer by color because it correlates to usage.
Mm-hmm.
So I prefer by color because then I know most of my emotional oils that I'm going to grab.
You're like, where are the pinks and purples?
Yep. I know that for me, if something is like sick or in pain, then I'm going to grab a blue labeled oil. I know for me that my citrus oils are all kind of around the same place because they're on the same shelf except for grapefruit with like orange and actually lime and lemon. Those are on the same shelf for me. So y'all obviously know I'm not organized. So I just couldn't imagine alphabetizing because I would never put them back. Like if once they were alphabetized, I wouldn't probably put them back. So much pressure, Allison said. Allison's are all over her house in different places. Nope, they're right there. No, they're all over. They're all right there. So I can say mine are all in one place and it's a little bit hilarious. I'm like, there's only about 100 upstairs in different rooms. The rest are all downstairs. Very organized. Like this call is interesting for me because I don't know what I do with my promo oils because I don't really think of them as promo oils. Like I get my orders and everything is together after I promote it. Like after I show people what I got, but as far as my business, I tend to always feel like I got so much for free that I give away whatever makes sense at the time. And what I mean is like to donate to my kid's school or to donate to like a silent auction for something or to give presents. But just for me, it's kind of the cumulative effect way more than the I got Jade Lemon for free. So it is helpful for me just to say I have all these things that I never would have had otherwise. And I love that. When it's weird oils like, 10 bottles of citronella, sometimes I'm not as excited because then I can't really give them away because it shakes, right? I'm sorry, I'm yawning. Dude, the first day of the month, is anybody else tired the like night? Like I'm so tired tonight. I'm like, it's probably because excitement and staying up and all the things. But I tend to try to find creative ways to use the more stinky oils like citronella. Or nutmeg. I used to have like 20 bottles of nutmeg at a time. I've had some things before that I'm like, don't really know what to do with these oils that I use, like a few drops. Citronella does not smell amazing. Citronella smells like chemical. It smells, y'all diffuse it like you use it topically. Okay, like it smells good or you use it for real. I've never once heard someone be like, the smell of citronella all over my house is so good. I'm like, it smells like a candle.
Funny
Y'all can say it
story
smells
about,
amazing. I want to see you tell me that you diffuse it. You diffuse it by itself all over your house constantly.
can I tell you a funny story about
Yeah.
citronella? And again, that's a promo oil that came at some point. And this is how I found out. My son picked it by intuition, like just so another thing you do is like if you don't really know, you can just like close your eyes, pick, your body will tell you what you need, right? Pick citronella, and he was like, diffuse it at bedtime. And I was like, this is weird. There's no bugs in our house, ideally, but whatever. It's for balance, y'all. So when you're out of balance or your emotions are all over the place, citronella is really good to diffuse to kind of get yourself back in like the right path, the zone, everything. So anyways, just a little tidbit. And it smells amazing.
When like we had, I don't know, somehow I too had like 5 bottles of citronella, and was trying to come up with ways to use it. I started putting it on my wool dryer balls and I love it. It's like refreshing. You can have it all. Yeah. Yeah. Normally lemongrass, but I was like, yeah, citronella. I have boatloads. Yeah, and it's fun. I mean, it's fun when you have like 5 bottles of something, you can be like, yeah, I'm going to give away 3 bottles of citronella this month, and do something fun with it and give people ideas on different ways they can do DIYs with things. Go ahead, dig into your reference materials, find out that something's for balance or something you didn't even realize. We can sometimes have really one-track minds about oils and not realize there's so many different ways we can use them, and then share that and then give them away.
I just thought of something. Another reason why I get the promos is because like you can learn, obviously, as we just kind of talked about, but I think I'm going to do this moving forward is talking about kind of last month's promos, because all those people got those promos and now you've become kind of like a mini expert because you've been using them. So it's good to kind of highlight those last month's promos in even this month, because it helps them get used. It helps them be accountable. It's like a thank you for spending the money sort of aspect, I think. So anyways, just wanted to put that out there as well.
Oh, Lori said she fell in love with One Heart. Oh, I am with you. I love that oil. I don't know what it is. And I know like everyone's nose is different, but to me, that oil kind of smells like bubble gum. And I think that's why I love it. Um, but yes, it's like a bubble gum perfume. I don't know. I just love it. It is a good one.
So I have another idea, and I go through phases when I'm better at this and when I'm not. But for those of you who have ever taught in-person classes, like when I would teach a class about the kit, as people are coming in, or as I'm kind of just mingling and talking to them, I'll just ask them, you know, what are some things that you're struggling with, right? Like digestion, emotional, whatever, right? Like all the different things like the starter kit can kind of address. And now we have this whole repertoire of Young Living products, right? It's not just limited to the kit, but you know, of the people that you know, of the customers you have on your team, or even prospects, right? Like friends and family, like you probably know someone in your life who struggles with focus, right? And so you could do sort of like your reaching out to them, right? Reaching out and going, you know what, I know this has been a concern for you. I want to share something with you. And you can say, you know, have you checked out Clarity? And so if it was a prospect, it could be, let me send you a sample, or I can make you a roller. If it was a current customer, it could be, this is the one that I think you're really going to need. I think you should definitely consider getting the promos this month. But I think just being proactive like that can be a really great way. So just listening to needs, right? That's kind of what we're always doing, is we're listening to people's needs. I know like some of you have a great memory. Like I know Ashley has kind of like a photographic memory. I don't remember anything unless it's written down. So I've learned to take copious notes. You may not know this. Maybe tell me how you work. Okay. So do you like write your customers down and like write down what their health needs are? I did that for a while, but then it just got too hard because, you know, awesome challenge, right? When you've got lots of people, but in the virtual office, if you click on a member, there's a notes section and you can write down notes for people. So usually before I contact someone, I look at the notes to see what notes did I take on them before. So I'll know this person had, you know, focus issues. Maybe there was ADHD in the family. This person had emotional issues, maybe anxiety. And so I can kind of use that to reach out to them personally and just see, you know, what help they need. So yeah, Lori's saying she's got an index card, like whatever works for you. But just kind of being proactive in that way, you could really help to serve your customers and go, I think you would really benefit from using this. You know, look at getting the promos this month. Yeah, Michelle Jernigan has the best system. Very true. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go look in Gather and Dwell and go look it up. We have a post in there. I'll go find it and try to bump it so you guys can all see it. But it is fantastic. Just a way to keep track of your customers and their needs. Girl, I'm with you. 1000% OCD over here too. Does anyone else have something to share on how they use the promo oils? Sorry, my kids are being loud right now. Oh my gosh, Stacy, thank you so much for hosting this call and the previous call, all about the promos. Can you guys tell us, how did you like learning about the promos, or learning how to use that for business? Did you guys like it? Tell us in the comments. Do you want us to keep doing this regularly? It just so happened to work out where it fell on a Tuesday, so it was perfect timing. And a huge thank you to Stacy for teaching it. She's always so amazing, so articulate, and has just great ideas and suggestions. Ooh, can I give you, Bridget, because you said you took snapshots. If you're on your desktop, on your computer, there's 3 little dots in the comment section or in the chat box. You can download the chat. I was trying to take notes as Stacy was talking so that you have that, but of course you can always watch the replay too. But just wanted to let you know, if you're like visual and need to see it, you can always download the chat. I'll let you close out, Stacy.
Well, thank you, everyone. I hope that was helpful. This was an absolute pleasure, and I hope everyone has a great evening.